To the Arsenal 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Eagle Talks Football. We're back again with another video. I got the new kit. I just went to the game in what was supposed to be an entertaining day at the Emirates where we beat Newcastle 1-0, turned into chaos and a little bit of heated back and forth with an Arsenal fan today after the game. But before we go any further, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. I'm going to break down what happened during the game, pre-game, everything that I was talking about, a little bit of tension after the game. And of course, we got to talk about what happened in the lead up to that little scuffle. But before we go any further, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. And let's get this show started the right way, ladies and gentlemen. As always, Eagle Talks Football. You guys already know what it is. Bang. Yes, people. What's going on? It's Eagle Talks Football. We're back again with another video. And the title of the video, I am not lying. Somebody did try to fight me at the Emirates after the game. But before we get into all that bullshit about the fight and everything else, let's just talk about what happened at the Emirates today. Now, everything's okay. I'm good. We're chilling. Hope everyone's good in the comment section. I got the new Arsenal kit, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't think I was going to get it. I love how it looks and everything about it. The white badge, the Adidas logo, everything about it. And even on the back, you can see that the Adidas. I like the kit, man. First things first, I had to go buy the kit. I met up with Dan Potts. I met up with Stricto. I've seen a bunch of people. It was a nice day out. We chilled. Last home game of the season. And I told you guys before the game, we are not losing to Newcastle. I told everybody we are not losing to Newcastle. Now, before we go any further, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. And yeah, pre-game, I did an interview with some news organization. What were they called? Where is it? Sports IT. Whoever these people are. I did a interview with these guys. If you ever heard of them, I did an interview with those guys. So yeah, it was pretty good. And then when it comes to what else I did, so I bought the shirt. I went to the stadium, obviously took the train. It took me a while to get down there. Everything was blessed. Then we went into the ground, grabbed our seat. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, the first bit of the game, I did not like. The game started off poor. And if we're just going to speak about the game, I felt like the game was in different halves. But you know what? The crowd, the vibe, everything was good to start the game. But then when we started playing football, ladies and gentlemen, we were not good to start the game. Let's keep it 100. We won the game 1-0, but to start off, it was a poor first 30 to 45 minutes. That was a poor first half. Arsenal have to do better. That right there was sheer domination. Newcastle were dominating us in that first half. And if Isak started, they buried that game. I don't want to be negative, but it's true. Newcastle were the better team to start off. Newcastle were better than us. Newcastle were dominating us. Newcastle showed us levels in that first 30 to 40 minutes. And you know what? I did not really go into this game thinking we were going to lose. But that first 30, 40 minutes had me worried. Genuinely had me worried. The way we started that game was probably some of the worst football I've seen us play. And the left-hand side was cooking, but the right-hand side was so poor. So poor. Newcastle were outplaying us. Newcastle were genuinely outplaying us. And what made me even more concerned about that first 35 minutes was, if you look at the Newcastle team, they had Daniel Murphy, Harvey Barnes, and Shearer on one side, and that side of the pitch was just cooking. I swear to you, I seen Murphy in our box so many times. I seen Barnes passing the ball to Wilson. I swear to you, if Wilson could shoot, we would have been in trouble, because that guy was horrific. Like Wilson should have had at least a couple goals. Livermento had a chance, which was dangerous early in the game. They were creating a lot of chances to start off the game. And I was looking at their game plan compared to ours, and I'm saying, what are we doing? Why are we not in this game? It seemed like Newcastle had everything going for them in the first 20 minutes, first 20 to 30 minutes, and they had majority of the shots. They outshot us in that first half 10-5. They had more shots on target than we had shots in the entirety of that first half. I swear to you, the Leandro Trossard shot was the only shot that I felt like we were going to score from. And I'm just going to repeat it again. Leandro Trossard was the man of the match. Leandro Trossard today was the best player on that pitch. Leandro Trossard for Arsenal was the best player on the pitch. He continuously cooked Newcastle. He continuously cooked Newcastle and showed them levels. Trossard today, defensively, his work rate, offensively, his work rate, everything he was doing, he was immense today. And I just want to shout out Leandro Trossard one more time. Say, yo, Leandro Trossard is an absolute G. Now, big up to this guy right here, Jazz D R Run says, hi Ega, I don't agree with your opinions, but someone trying to fight you is a disgrace. Hope you are good. Bro, I'm good, man. Don't even worry about it. We're gonna talk about it in a bit. We're gonna talk about it in a bit. First, let me just do the match reaction, and I swear to you, I'm gonna get to it. But everything is blessed, bro. Everything is blessed. What do you call it? Dan Potts has got his. Bro, what are you talking about Dan Potts for, man? Allow the people in the chat need to talk. Allow the guys. Stop boring everyone and talk about you. The Chelsea fan in the chat, you're moving silly. You're moving silly. Relax. Let me just finish my match reaction, and I swear to you, I'm gonna tell you guys whatever you need to hear. But yeah, first half, as I said, once again, Newcastle were the better team. We were really slow. We were really poor. But Leandro Trossard and that left-hand side was really doing well for Arsenal. For me, it was a combination of Saka and Odegaard and what do you call it? Ben White, who were poor. And those guys have been one of our best players in the past. They have been the side of the pitch that cooks for us. And in this game, that right-hand side was poor. Arsenal's right-hand side needed to improve in that second half. You know something? They necessarily didn't improve, but the team overall improved in the second half, and we started to dominate in the second half. Second half is where we seen majority of the opportunities come from, majority of the chances, majority of the goals. And one unfortunate thing is we seen William Saliba come off. I'm not sure what kind of injury he had, but William Saliba came off after 45 minutes, some sort of injury that he picked up. But in the second 45 minutes, guys, we were cooking Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle did not have a shot on target. Newcastle did not even look like they were going to score. Newcastle didn't even have a chance that they did anything. And Bukayo Saka lays it back to Declan Rice, and Odegaard lays it back to Declan Rice, and then boom, 1-0 to the Arsenal from there. Fair play to Newcastle. They had many opportunities. Even at the end, they had many opportunities, but we ended up getting out the win. We ended up squeaky bum time getting that win. And Declan Rice's goal, to me, in my opinion, it was just like the goal was coming eventually. We were gonna get a goal eventually. We were gonna get a goal eventually. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We're gonna get a goal eventually. It's not that serious. But yeah, Declan Rice scoring his goal. It is what it is. From there, I was happy. And now, where does that leave us? Where does that leave us now? That leaves us in a situation where we are secured. We secured our Champions League spot. We don't have to worry about Champions League. Second again, ole ole. Or should I? Or nobody wants to hear that right now. But still, we're gonna finish second again, most likely, as Newcastle won't be able to mathematically catch us. Even with a win, they won't be able to mathematically catch us. And if I'm not mistaken, Man City, even if they do mathematically catch us, it's going to be unlikely that they what do you call it, 6 points. Yeah, they could mathematically catch us, but they need like a 10-goal difference. So Arsenal are going to finish the season in second. After all the talk about people saying Arsenal are not going to finish the season in second, there you go. We're going to finish the season in second, and it looks like that is it right there. Nothing else to be really said about that. It is what it is. Arsenal's going to finish in second, and people are going to just need to relax with all the banter. I know it's 3 years in a row coming in second, but the main thing is people want to have arguments with me. It tends to be around Arteta. The arguments that we have as Arsenal fans tends to be around Arteta. So yeah, what's the beef? The thing is, I have no beef with nobody. I physically don't want to fight nobody. I'm not one of those people. I'm not a fighter. I'm not somebody who goes out of my way to go look for problems, right? But I was at the game. I'm doing my thing. I'm just chilling. I was actually speaking to Yardman, and I'm kicking there. I'm kicking it there, and then out of nowhere, some guy just comes and he's like, "Yo, Igal, I need to speak to you, bro. You are delusional as fuck. Like, I'm done. I'm sick and tired of your bullshit. You must be faking it. Like, you can't be real. You can't be real. You can't be telling the truth. Like, what are you doing out here? Like, what does Arteta have on you? You need to stop with this bullshit, bro, because you're making us Arsenal fans look bad." And I'm like, yo, chill. First of all, relax. Relax. It's not that serious, bro. It's not that serious. You need to chill out with all the bullshit. Nobody's here. Nobody's here. And you're not that hard. You need to chill out. Right? He's like, we're just trying to talk football. And then the guy's like, nah, bro, I'm sick and tired of your bullshit. I'm like, you don't even know me. So this guy comes out of nowhere, all hot and bothered over my footballing opinions. And it turns out, after all the stuff, after all the hot and bothered bullshit, it turns out the guy fully probably agrees with half the takes that I was saying. Because we ended up standing there, and there's like everyone's like, yo, chill, 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 chill. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. And then I'm like, okay, so what's the argument? The guy literally just the guy is just trying to tell me why I should be Arteta out. His whole argument on why he's coming in my face, all bothered, hot and bothered, saying you're deluded and everything, trying to get in my face over the fact that I disagree with him on the stance that we should keep Arteta or sack him. It was actually hilarious. So everyone's just standing there. This guy's getting all mad, and I'm just like, bro, you probably agree with me. So we started speaking, and then we started talking about some stuff, and it wasn't even like a physical altercation. It was just more like he was trying to shout at me and yell at me in public, and I was like, yo, chill out. It's not that serious. Like, we're talking about Arteta here. We're not talking about life and death. Like, calm down. This is where banter goes too far. Like, people try to banter you in social media, but then you're trying to yell and shout in public. It's kind of embarrassing. Like, you need to chill out. So I spoke to my man about Arsenal. We were speaking, we're having a cordial conversation. I think somebody actually recorded it, because it literally turned into like a shouting match over, or trying to speak over each other, because he wouldn't let me speak. He just kept saying his bit. But then it got into a point where somebody was like, yo, chill, you need to hear him out. And then I finally got my 2 cents in. And then eventually he's like, nah, bro, but you're still delusional. And then he kept getting at me. And then I'm like, you know what? I can't change your mind. And I just walked away. And it never turned into a physical altercation. It never turned into a thing where he was physically trying to fight me. But it was almost like a verbal argument the whole time. And I was just like, yo, what the hell are we doing here? I came just to chill. And I was literally just speaking to Yardman and then this guy comes out of nowhere, and it turns into a whole mosh pit, literally just looking at us arguing. And it was hilarious. But hey, I know somebody out there probably recorded it, and I would love to see that video. But it was a funny situation. But personally, I personally encourage people to have conversations with me about football, even if you disagree with me. I would encourage it. But in that manner, I just felt like it was uncalled for. It was uncalled for. But hey, it wasn't a physical altercation. It wasn't a thing where he physically tried to fight me. It was like a verbal altercation. But fair enough. The guy was honestly hilarious. The guy was honestly hilarious. But yeah, long story short, I'll tell you guys this. There must be a video out there somewhere. You guys got to go see it, because this guy literally came out of nowhere, hot and bothered, laughing, and hot and bothered, going crazy. And I was just laughing my ass off as I was walking away, because I'm like, yeah, it's not that serious. I'd love to see these Prem channels come in the den and try some of these antics. Yeah, embarrass himself. Don't fall in his games and let him shout. If you don't come with respect, walk away. Yeah, you know what? It wasn't even that serious. It wasn't even that serious. So he tried to argue instead of fight. Nah, you know what it was? It was a situation where the person came into a situation. I don't even know you, and you're coming in just yelling and shouting. It's like, relax. You don't really know me. We don't know each other like that. It's not that serious. You don't need to be yelling and screaming. We can have a conversation about Arteta. We can have a conversation about Arsenal. We were in front of the Tony Adams statue, and it was just like, yo, it's not even that serious. But yeah, long story short, people are gonna yell, people are gonna shout. I've had people come up to me and say, I disagree with everything you say. I kind of think you're deluded, but big up to you. But this was the first time where someone come up to me on a thing where they're like trying to G-check me almost. And I was like, yo, what's wrong with this guy? Relax, bro. It's not even that serious. But yeah, long story short, that's how some people are. That was too bad it wasn't Julian. You turned him in for the culture. What? Tune him up for the culture. I'll come back. Ego, give me a drop. Nah, you know what? Everyone is good. It wasn't so it wasn't a physical altercation. It wasn't a fight. What a mess. You know what? I think some of you guys wanted to hear me tell you that I was punching up some guy or some guy tried to punch me up. That I think that's what you guys were expecting. But nah, it wasn't even that. It was just super annoying that I'm out there after the game just trying to chill, just trying to say hi to some people, and then somebody just comes out of nowhere, starts having an argument with me. It was honestly hilarious. But yeah, they tried to do it with Kenny Ken or Yardman, absolute mugs. Yo, bro, I'm telling you right now, nobody is yelling at Kenny Ken or Yardman. First of all, Yardman is a giant and Kenny Ken is huge. Neither of them are getting yelled at by anybody. Whoever's yelling at them they're going to be looking down at them. Those guys are huge. Anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. Not much more to be said. We won the game, second secured. I know it's not what we wanted. I spoke to a lot of people actually today about Arteta, and this was a thing that I wanted to speak about. I spoke to a lot of people about Arteta, and I got into a little conversation with somebody on the bus. And the guy, for once, I was the one saying we should sack Arteta in a year's time if he doesn't win, and this guy was telling me no, Arteta should be given 2 years no matter what. And I was like, why? He's like, Arteta should be given 2 years no matter what because he needs an attack. And if he doesn't get his attack gelled in the first season, who's to say it won't be gelled in the second season? So he should be given 2 years. And for the first time, I was speaking to somebody and I was on the Arteta outside where I was telling him, no, Arteta doesn't get it right next season. He's going to have to go. And this guy was telling me, no, Arteta needs minimum 2 more years. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Why is this guy telling me that Arteta needs 2 more years? If he doesn't get his attackers and to firing next season, why should he have 2 more years? Explain to me. And his logic is, well, number one, if Arteta goes, who do you want to bring in? And then he starts doing that whole thing where it's like, who do you want to bring in? And then I told him, look at what Arnie Slot did. And then the next conversation he had was, he's like, you need consistency at the top level, and we have not regressed. We've continuously been here, and this season, due to injuries, there's been a little bit of a stagnation, but it has not dropped off. If he was to drop off, then I would sack him. But because he hasn't dropped off, we should continue to go with him. And I'm like, what? So on the bus from what do you call it, the train station, trying to head over to Waterloo Station, this guy's telling me he not only would he keep Arteta next season if he doesn't win the league, but he would keep him for 2 years no matter what. So he would give him the first year to get his forwards in, and then he would give him the second year to get them to fully gel. And he's like, if he doesn't win in the next 2 years, then he would sack him. And I'm like, in what world would Arteta be given 2 more years of grace? Surely he has to start delivering next season. And for once, I disagreed with somebody on Arteta. It was very strange. It was weird to be on the other side of it, but it was like, this man was fully adamant that Arteta, no matter what, should be given 2 more years in the case of injuries again, in the case of not gelling, in the case of players not being fit. And I'm like, what? Stop it. Now we're just getting to a point where it seems like Arteta is always going to be given more and more leeway. And I'm somebody who loves Arteta. I back the manager. But then somebody else came out of nowhere holding a beer bottle. They're like, yo, you need to be more grateful about Arteta. Somebody's telling me I need to be more grateful about Arteta. Somebody's telling me you don't remember we were eighth and eighth. You didn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, ladies and gentlemen. I had people telling me I'm too negative about Arteta. I was like, what? Excuse me? What? In what world am I negative? In what world am I the guy who's oh my god, I couldn't believe it today. So you have in one breath, you had the guy trying to fight me outside of the stadium, and in the other breath, you had the guy on the bus who's telling me, nah, Arteta's staying. Even if we don't win next season, he's staying. And then you had another guy telling me I'm ungrateful. I was like, what the hell is going on? Today was wild. Today was wild. Today was just nuts. And I had also, there was another guy who was trying to tell me we don't need Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres is not proven in the Premier League. Get me Ollie Watkins. And if you can't get me Ollie Watkins, get me Liam Delap. I'm like, what the flip is going on? The guy said Liam Delap, at least he's Premier League proven. You get me Victor Gyökeres, he played in the Portuguese league. I'm like, excuse me? What are you talking about Portuguese league? He's like, bro, I best believe we're not getting no player from the Portuguese league, not Premier League proven. Who's going to say that he's going to even bang? What's the point of that? We need to win now. Get me Liam Delap and get me Ollie Watkins. I'm like, excuse me? Ollie Watkins and Liam Delap. Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing now? Is that what we're doing now? Oh my God. I can't breathe, guys. I'm sick. I'm so sick. Like, oh my God. I can't believe I even went to the game with the state that I'm in. Like, I slept in the living room the last 2 nights because I'm that ill. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was a good day. It was a funny day. Got into some altercations, got into some conversations, and we watched the win at the Emirates versus Newcastle. First win out of 4 attempts this season. And yeah, what we know now is we're secured second. What we know now is we're going to have to go again next year. And yeah, that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wrap it up here. I did not get into a physical altercation, by the way, in case you missed it. It was just more of an argument. But yeah, everything's blessed. Catch you guys in the next video. Love for the love. Big up to the gentleman for the super chat. Shout out to all you guys who've watched this video and watched the video back. And please do hit that like button if you haven't already done so. I'm going to send you over now to, who should I send you over to? I'm going to send you over to Never a Foul and just be like, yo, Egal raid, or just be like, Egal got into a fight. just egg them on. Anyways, catch you guys later. Love for the love. Don't know people. Peace.